Worried a recession could wipe out your savings? It might be closer than you think, but don't panic, because imagine turning a recession or a depression into the biggest money-making opportunities. Remember, millionaires and billionaires are built in the down periods. They're built in recessions and depressions. Imagine turning back the clock and being able to purchase a home in 2008 or in 2020 with 0% interest rate. How much money would you have saved by today? I'll give you an example. My parents bought a home around 1,000 feet bigger than mine for about half the price. That today is worth 4 times as much as they bought it in 2007 during the down periods. You might have the biggest financial opportunity of your life this year. So if you're prepared, you know what to do, and you know how to watch out for the right signals, you might be able to take advantage of it instead of letting this happen to you. Hi, my name is Shirley, and my biggest goal this year is to build an army of corporate millionaires. I'd love to be able to help you achieve your financial goals and your career goals so you can get the life that you've been dreaming of. There's a lot of scary things happening out there. There's a lot of news like this.
Personally, I have no doubts that we're in a recession. People can't afford housing, they can't afford groceries, stock market is crashing. Oh yeah, we're in danger.
That puts the fear of God into every single person out there. But it doesn't have to be this way. If you understand how to look at the right signals, you'll be able to understand where the right opportunities can come from. So let's begin. Now, what are these signals and why are we so sure that a recession or depression might be coming? There's also a term that's being thrown around a lot, stagflation. Stagflation happens when we have inflationary prices with a very limited or negative growth in the actual economy. So all of these things could be happening, but why do we know that? Well, this graph right here gives us one of the biggest indicators. This is a yield curve graph. One of the biggest indicators of recession is an inverted yield curve. When short-term interest rises above long-term interest between the 2-year and 10-year spread, we tend to see this inverted yield curve. Now, that's a very technical speak for there's not a ton of growth in the market and corporate spending has slowed. Historically, every one of the last 8 recessions was preceded by an inverted yield curve around 12 months before the recession. This doesn't guarantee a recession, but it's one of the biggest economic markers that we tend to look for. Now, the other one is the cooling of the economy and jobs. You may have noticed that you wake up every single morning, you see a ton of news about layoffs. You may also have noticed that it takes people around 6 to 10 months in order to get a job in this market right now. The economy is slowing down, and companies are already being very cautious about how they spend. We talk about this from a corporate spending being down, but also consumer spending being down because bonuses, raises, they have all paused this year or are much lower than what we were expecting. Right now, we are expecting that by the end of the year, the unemployment rate will increase to around 4.6%, which is quite high. The takeaway, the economic engine has slowed, but it's not at a pause yet. Now, let's be clear, not everyone agrees on what's happening next, which is why you're seeing so much buzz and why there's so much fear-mongering and information coming out. Some economists believe we will still have a soft landing and avoid a full-on recession. Some economists predict a slowdown, but not a downturn. However, we are seeing the odds around 33.6% that we will enter a recession by the end of 2025. Here's the thing for you. You need to be alert, but not paralyzed. Make the right money moves today so that you can be ready for it if it comes. Here's what I am advising you to do in order to make sure that you are prepared for it. Number 1, build your emergency fund. Everyone should have this, but right now, I would expect anywhere from 3 to 6 months, although we are seeing people staying as high as 9 months just because there won't be as many opportunities for employment if a recession does come. Start small if you need, even $50 help. Automate transfers if you can. Think of your emergency fund as self-care. Next, work on paying down high interest debt. Unfortunately, if a recession does come, remember that a lot of your credit cards have variable interest rates. That means that they can increase your debt at any moment. They can increase the amount of money that it costs you to have a credit card at any minute. So paying down your highest credit cards, it's going to be important. If you have a store credit card, like a Victoria's Secret credit card or something like that, pay those down first. Those are the most predatory ones. It is not the time to buy the new car just because. It is not the time to rage quit your job. It is not the time to do some of the things that we want to do. Live lean, cut down expenses. And I'm telling everyone, hoard as much cash as you need, because what happens during a recession is that it affects people who don't have cash to invest. This is when the stock market plummets, where you can buy in the dip. This is when real estate plummets, where you can buy houses that are in foreclosure or people are moving out to make more money to be able to live. This is when you can buy real assets at a very cheap cost. So what happens is, why most people don't make money is because up until the recession hits, they're spending the money that they're making. And then they also have no money. And so they're going to be the ones needing to sell stocks in order to make money and in order to pay their bills. You're going to be the one needing to sell your house in order to pay bills. You can either be the one who's selling to make ends meet, or you can be the one who's buying. Unfortunately, the one who's buying is the one making money. So the more you save through this time period, the better off you'll be in recessionary times. Your income is going to be so important over these next 3 to 9 months. Your job may lay you off. If you have a company, you may lose employees. You may lose clients. Corporate spending is going to slow. You may not sell as much during a recession. So consider upskilling and side hustles that you can do to make yourself more marketable. The other thing that you might want to do is consider recession-proofing your career. And you do that through networking. How can you network? How can you get in front of as many people as possible? How can you build your village of people? If you have a stable job, stay in it. If your job is starting to lay off people, it's time to work on your resume. It's time to start applying. It's time to do the things that you need to do so you're not laid off and caught off guard. It is not the time to rage quit. It's time to be prepared. I've been doing this for a lot of people, and if you'd like me to do this for you, I'm happy to. I'm happy to check out your resume completely free, give you advice, give you feedback, help you tailor your resume so that you can have a much easier job finding a job. So put your comment down below if you'd like me to do that, and I will go ahead and help you out. Stay invested, but think about how your investment is going to be affected by things like tariffs. For example, I have pulled out a lot of my investment into companies like General Motors and Ford, etc., into car companies because they are being affected by this whole tariff game back and forth with Canada. And I'm investing more into American brands. These are how my stocks are looking like, even despite being down 600 points in this market today. The other thing people might want to do is, if you're scared that inflation is going to really hurt your cash, invest in something like gold or silver. Here's a whole bunch of ETFs to do that. And I have another video that I'll link down below that's going to help you understand how investing in gold or silver can safeguard some of your cash. The bottom line is that these are all about control. Taking control of what you can, savings, spending, skills, so that no matter what you do, you're in the driver's seat of your financial life. Do not let the economy happen to you. There are going to be a lot of victims and a lot of millionaires made in this economy. There's always a winning strategy, and it is up to you to decide whether you want to be the victim or the millionaire after this. Take every single piece of information and do not fear it. It's not about fear. It's about empowerment to make the decisions that you need to make in this market. If you like this video and you'd like to stay on top of it, I'm going to be publishing once a week so that you know what you can do in this market, in this economy, to safeguard your career, to safeguard your finances, and to make the most out of it. Stay on the winning strategy side of this ordeal. I'd love if you could comment down below and let me know how you're feeling, and let me know how you're feeling about this video and making it more actionable. You know, I always kind of think it is so much easier if I made these into fear-mongering videos and go viral, but it's not really helping anyone to do so. My goal is to give you 10-minute actionable videos every single week so that you can actually get better with your finances in your career. If that's helpful to you, please put them down in the comments below, and I would love if you could subscribe. Please, please, please. It will really help me out as I build this channel and try to get into as many people as I possibly can so I can, again, build this army of corporate millionaires, because wouldn't that just be so cool to do? I will see you next time.